Alright, so we're back on the Arrma Felony. Just giving you an overall view of the damage. Most of the damage happened right in this front end. And this literally is the way I left it. I didn't even pop the top. I didn't assess the situation. I did, well, actually, technically, I guess I did pop the top, didn't I? I did order up some parts, but to be quite honest, I actually don't know what's wrong with the Felony. I think it's superficial, but I think we need to dive in and see exactly what's going on. So if you're interested in watching this episode, like I always say, from RC Guy Garage, you know what to do. So let's just break into the poor Felony. Yeah, you piece of crap. Anyway, so I guess maybe from a body man's perspective, we had a pretty bad front side impact. Basically, is what happened is you can actually see that there's a buckle on the hood right here. Did travel kind of like through the fender. You can actually see that there's a buckle right here. We did cave in this front little section here. Caved in this whole section to the front wheel to where now obviously it rubs. And it was actually rubbing some of the tire off. Underneath, I know obviously just from the car driving, we blew out the splitter. And I think that it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. I'm hoping that it's just not super deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a little rag here so that I can flip over this Felony. We'll get a look at the underneath. Like this right here. Oh, see what I mean? Still rocks and stuff all stuck in there. So instead of the actual splitter itself breaking away, it actually broke away from this side, which is, I kind of almost feel like it's worse. Pretty sure that there's some fasteners missing. Yeah, I can already tell that there's a fastener missing right there. Looks like that fastener's there, but unfortunately, most of this, I believe, is not salvageable. But what I need to find out is I need to find out and make sure that it didn't bend the frame because, well, I call it the frame, but it's actually the chassis. But, yeah. I got to set up my little device here so that I can actually see what my GoPro is seeing, or so I can see what you guys are seeing, because right now, I can't see a dang thing. Looks like I don't even have GoPro on there. Alright, well, I'll set up this device instead. See what time it is. And be able to go to camera. Find out which one is connected. And I'm not running cracked. It's not finding... It's not even finding the camera. Oh, there we go. Control device. Alright. So that's what I'm seeing. So at least I can see what you're seeing. So basically this is just going to be a tear down. I might as well literally start right here because this is the last screw that's kind of holding things on. And the only thing about that is I believe that's actually held in with a with another fastener. So we do have a screw that pulled through here. My worry is that I actually bent the chassis. And I'm kind of almost thinking that I did, which is kind of a big bummer. I do have like all these parts, but when you look at this part of the suspension arm, you can see how I can pretty much fit my finger in there. On this side, I can't. But that might also be that it pulled through. So what I'm hoping is that this plastic just kind of buckled up and the screw not settling down is the reason why, you know, like this is happening. So what I'm going to do right now while I've got the vehicle upside down is I am going to pop out these screws right here. I'm not exactly sure what screws are involved on the other side, but I'm going to just start taking some screws out and we'll figure out what's going on from there. I am going to use a driver, so if you got headphones and you don't want to listen to the noise of a driver, you already know what to do. It should be quick work disassembling this. Just got to find the right thing here, which I think it's going to be that one. Alright, so I'm going to pop this one out just because it's actually accessible right now. And that is this one. Now, because that one pulled through, I'm going to leave that one alone because that looks like it actually is still stuck inside the actual chassis. I will remove this screw right here, which there is a nylock on the back side of that, so I don't know what's going to happen. So it pulled out. No big deal. So here's our splitter. So you can see, obviously, we damaged this part right here. These screws are actually pretty much going all the way through. So for now, I'm just going to... These screws actually took some damage from the pavement. One more screw holding that little splitter piece on, or holding the splitter on to the little adapter. And that is it. So we've got this piece right here. This piece is mangled. We did break it right here. The fasteners pulled through. They actually pulled through, which is pretty insane. You think about this, right? These holes don't look deformed. How did this thing literally like rip through? So you can see we still have a nylock there. I'm going to go ahead, remove that. That's going to require one of these little things here. So that's all those screws there for this. So this piece is pretty much junk. The splitter itself, I suppose I could use it. I'll have to heat it up and flatten it out and see what's going on as far as the roughness of this, to see if it's something I actually want to use. Pretty sure that I can make it flat again. That's really not an issue. Like I said, I'll just heat it up and bang it out. We'll buff it out. That'll buff out. Go after these screws here. These ones have nylocks. That one's torn out. And this one seems like it's having an issue. So what I'll do is I will actually pull up on it. Hopefully. There we go. So that one actually might be torn out as well. I do have, the foam is fine. This actual body section, I might be able to bend that, heat it up and bend it out. Flip the car over. Pull out the body pins, see what we're looking at here. Alright, so you can see we've got some structural damage. Got a little bit of front end damage here. You can see obviously now this lower little airfoil section, whatever you want to call this front bumper, splitter, whatever this is. Little lower valance, that's what they call this. This is a lower valance. You can see that that's kind of mangled. I'm going to go ahead and just pop these screws right here. I can see that, yeah. My concern is making sure that this frame's not bent. So I'm going to pop these screws out of here just to see what happens here. And that piece is connected there somehow. So we got a screw way down there, I think. Yeah. So I got that screw. And then what else do we got? Something else is holding this together. Flip it over. Let's see what we got. I got these screws. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've actually never taken this apart before, so this is gonna be this is like literally the first time I've taken. So that one. So I don't know if these have nuts on them or what, but that seemed like it wanted to dive. So I'm just letting the driver come up. See, that one's bent. So that one took a hard hit. In order for that one to be bent like that, that definitely took a hard hit. Let's see if this now, is it going to come apart now? Hey, there we go. So what I wanted to see was obviously this piece is mangled. And I could heat this back up. I could straighten it out. But I actually have a brand new piece. Foam bumper. Obviously the foam is fine. One. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and I don't even know if I can trust these. That's the thing too. So I'm going to pop these out by just pushing in from the underside. So we were missing one. It actually got torn out. Got torn out right there. So pop that one out. Looks like that one's missing. That one right there is actually there. Just gonna need a magnet to rip that out. I hope. We'll see. And looks like the magnet's not gonna be strong enough. This is where maybe a pick will come in handy. Pick is out. So nylocks, we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nylocks that basically hold kind of like this whole section together right here. There's 2 screws through the front here that I'm assuming should take off this forward like little brace thing. I'm not sure what else is attached. Seems like that's free. So I'm going to go ahead and go after those bolts right there. These ones right here. It's going to be this, I think. Yep. Wow. So that fastener got bent. So that's saying a pretty good impact. Look at that fastener. That fastener got bent. Now that makes me wonder, what's this one going to be? So that one's straight. So that took a pretty good hit. So now that those are out, I'm hoping, is this pry away or is there another fastener under here? I don't know. Maybe it's my grip tape here. So I'm going to slice that, my tape right there, so I can keep my GPS in that position. But I'm going to take that and I'm going to slice it right now with a razor blade. Because obviously that's what's keeping that together. So I'm basically just going to go right down the center of that little brace. Like that. And that should be it. And was that it? Yeah. Alright, so there we go. So this piece itself, this piece, believe it or not, this piece is actually slightly deformed. It's got, you could tell there was an impact right there. So what I'll do is I can compare this to the other one, to the new one. But the biggest thing was, yeah, look at that. All right, so that one's out. That one's pulled through. What else is holding this together? So it looks like that screw there, that screw there. I'm going to leave that one in place just for now. But I am going to go after these 2 screws. And looks like I actually do have to go after that screw. Because what it's doing is not allowing it to pull. So it's still actually embedded in the plastic. So it actually didn't pull all the way through like I had thought. But it was pretty close. So that is going to be rough coming out. Was that a stone? Oh no, it was one of the nylocks. So you got a nylock there, nylock there. So that was one of the nylocks that popped out, which is right there. Looks like another nylock showed up. So I will have to somehow figure out getting that fastener out of there. Probably just grab it with pliers and just smack it out, or take a hammer and hammer that out. That's pretty rough. So I'm just going to grab it right by the threads down low. Wonder if that fastener's bent. And that's not going to work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vise right here. And I'm basically going to close it up like this. Well, open it up a little bit more. Place the screw over it. I'm going to take a hammer. I'm going to hammer on that thread, but not without protecting it, I think. Because what I would like to do is take the nylock, the bigger nylock, and I'm going to thread that nylock onto there, just like that. And that way I can safely hammer on that top. Just like that. That worked. So now just want to be able to pull that through. And I'll check out this fast. So this is definitely mangled. I took a hard hit right there. Actually, I took a hard hit right there because it's kicked up. Way I'm seeing this, I'm actually not seeing any deformation of the chassis yet.
What are you talking about?
This screw...
You really haven't even given it a check.
...is mint.
Come on, guy.
So I'll just throw the nut back on there. So that worked. Get the vise out of here. This hobby vise, telling you, go buy one. I should buy stock in that hobby vise. Back on this thing here. So what I want to do now is I'm checking, and my chassis is bent. Yeah, I can see it. It's not bad though. So basically what it is, took an impact right here, and because of the way it impacted, it actually kicked this down, and I know I'm pointing up, but it actually kicked this down, which this way is down. Not seeing really any deformation. I'm actually feeling for ripples through here. That's why I'm rubbing my hand back and forth on that section. But that is definitely kicked. So what I can do is I'm actually going to keep this cradled in my hand. I'm going to take a hammer, and I'm actually going to strike right here with a hammer to see if I can get that to come down. There goes the other nylock. Pretty close. Now this is also giving it cushion, which is why I'm doing it this way. And a couple more little whacks, and I think it should be good. That is really close. What I'm doing is I'm eyeing it. And that's really close. Another couple little whacks. There goes the other nylon. And again, all I'm doing is just trying to be precise with viewing the lines of the frame. What I could do is, if I really wanted to go nuts, I could take a straight edge, bring it down. I could actually use my caliper. But thinking that is pretty close to being where I want that to be. So if I take like a straight edge like this, what I could do, keep it on that part of the actual side of the chassis or the frame, do the same thing on this side. Pretty sure this side is probably fine. It's this side that took the impact. And I could take another chassis that is unaffected and then get some measurements. But what I'll do is I'll take my caliper right now, and I'm telling you right now, this is actually still bent down a little bit. So it's up, but it's bent down. Just by eye, I can tell, and I'll show you with my digital caliper. And it's close. It's close, but I would have to get it a little bit closer. All right. On. Zero it out. I'm going to keep the chassis like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dive it down until it hits. And I'll keep it on the top measurement. See what I'm saying? What I'll do it like this. This will probably be better. So, on the edge. Oop. I think this is tight. So right there we have 45.04. We'll slide over to this side. And on this side, 45.34. So you can see what I'm saying is technically, just by eye, I could tell that this is just still slightly ticked down. Meaning I know it's up, but it's technically down. So I'm going to give a couple more little hammer smacks. I'm going to ham it right in this section right here. But I can tell by the sheen of the actual frame or chassis, I can tell by the sheen of the chassis, that this is fairly flat. Once I give a couple little taps right there, that's going to bring that up. It's technically kind of, it's bringing it down towards the surface, but it's actually bringing it up, which is the way it's supposed to be. I'm kind of getting tongue-tied here. So I'm going to eye that again. Give it a couple smacks right here, and I'm going to hit it right in this section right here. That looks pretty close. So it actually looks closer now than what it was. So let's get the indicator over here. What would have been awesome is if I could figure out a magnet to hold this down. So we'll zero it out, make sure it's closed. Zeroed out, you can see, zeroed. I'm going to bring it down. Right there. We're at 45.22. Go to the other side. Look at that. 45.21. I'm going with that. That right there. That's what I call mint. That worked out mint. All right, so that's cool. I'm very happy with that. That digital caliper, I think only cost me like 12 bucks. So I am very happy with that. Now, the other thing that I want to do too is I am going to take my straight edge and I do want to check the entire chassis. Yeah, there's a slight uptick. So the other thing that I can do is I can go for center to center on my wheels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tape measure, make sure that that wheel is flat. I can visually see that this wheel is flat. The other thing that I could do is pop my wheels off, but what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to go flat. I'm going to go for this hub, the center. I'm going to go to that hub, the center, and see what I get for a measurement. So I'm basically just going to go center to center. The only negative about this is a pretty rough measuring tape, but I should be able to get numbers. And what I'm going to do is, instead of going actually for the end, I'm going to go for the middle of the one, or I'm going to go for the one. I'm going to go in the center, and basically the center of the other one So it's 17 inches is what I'm getting from this lug nut to that lug nut, or if you want to call it hub to hub. I'm going to spin this around. And what I want to do is I want to hope that I'm also going to get 17 center to center on that, making sure that this is relatively straight as it can be. Measure it out. Go to the 1. And 17. So it's actually 16, but it's 17 on the tape. So I'm happy with that. I feel fairly confident that that was literally the only possible damage that we had. Now the only other thing that I want to do is I want to check how the car settles down. So basically, gonna move everything out of my way. And I know that my bench is fairly flat. I'm hoping. Just don't want to lose all my screws. I guess it's good that this is magnetic. And I'm just going to take this out of the way. And what I want to do is I want to see suspension-wise. This is the side that got knocked, right? So I just want to feel, is it lifting at the same time? And for what I'm seeing, it is. It's lifting at the same time. So I feel pretty happy with that. I'm fairly confident, man. That's that makes me happy. So that also makes me know that, you know, this should go together or go back together fairly quickly with the new pots. So I did go on Jenny's RC or whatever the heck it is. JRC or Jenny's, yeah, Jenny's RC. And fortunately, they literally had everything that I needed at the time. So what I did, so went ahead, I got this. Actually, this wasn't from Jenny's. Crap. So we won't have any stickers, but that's okay. It's not like I need a sticker. But one of the things that I think I might do, I think I might install that that intercooler, because the intercooler actually bolts this like down. So I'm gonna pop this open. That's ARA 410010, and that is for the rear diffuser and the front, like basically front lower valance. Really, that's what this really is. This is a lower valance. And here's the other piece. It's really not a diffuser, it's like the overlay piece. I do know this. I don't need to replace the back yet. I haven't slammed the back. So now it's basically just checking this piece here, making sure that this is, there is actually a ripple. There's a ripple right there. So I can take heat. I can relax that plastic. Not that it would be a problem, but I think maybe it's more if it's a problem, like it's a problem with me. So, seeing that that's fine, just gonna flip this over. And I'm gonna install that underneath section. Now, I actually do have this, and that is from Jenny's. That is where? Where did I put that now? Oh. This I got from Jenny's. So this was, obviously, the front splitter, which is warped. Not that it matters. Had that lower piece. It had the actual real diffuser piece, Had this piece that I broke off. It's obviously just missing screws. Here's what's crazy, right? Yeah, that's funny, huh? Look at that. There's actually still the nylocks. So some of the nylocks actually were left in this piece, which that works for me. Yeah. That's mint. Check that out. So all I have to do now is just take a couple of my nylock pieces, install those in there. They'll probably fall out once I flip it upside down. Right? Yeah. Yeah, they will. I'll install them after the fact. Isn't that funny, though? So 3 of the nylocks actually were still there. So I'm going to go ahead and just install this piece into here. And that fits perfect. The 2 large screws, which go for here and here. So take that nylock, find its way into that spot. Now, I don't want to torque that down because I want everything to kind of like be loose for now. Get the other screw ready. The other big nylock. Put that nylock into place. If I can. Get my hands in there. Holy moly. Am I going to get my hand in there? There we go. See how it's still loose? That's how I want it to be right now. Just want to put everything kind of into place. So now I need 2 nylocks on that side, which is that one right there. Put that nylock into place. And then, where was the other nylock? So there's the other nylock still stuck in there. Pop that out. Stick that into place underneath. Can't even see what I'm doing. Now I need the actual bolt, which I thought did I already set it up? Where'd the bolt go? Oh, right here. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna flip this over. So you can see that's where the 2 nylocks were, right there and right there. The other 2 nylocks were to the back, one right there, one right there. So now there are 2 nylocks here, so 1, 2. Put those in there now, and the foam bumper is actually going to keep that captured. I've actually never taken this apart before, so you know what's funny is that this is how easy it is. Now while I'm here, I should probably check. No, that's tight. Those are tight. That's fine. Look at that. You can see the paint. The paint actually rubbed off on the tire. It hit so hard. So that should be fine. Now, I can't remember. Was it this piece? Yeah, it is. Check that out. So there we go. Brand new piece. Forgetting something. Forgetting that brace. So that brace was this. I did say that this was slightly deformed, but because it's plastic, maybe it'll be all right. So that goes in there like that. And then that slots into there. So that slots into there. And then that gets snapped into there. So that's actually fine. I'm going to bolt those 2 bolts in right now, or screw those 2 bolts in right now. One of them was seriously bent, so I think I will unbend that. So it was this one that was bent really bad. So I'm just going to buzz that right in. So that's torqued in. This is the fastener that's bent. So I am actually going to rebend that. I'm going to use my channel locks. I'm going to put it right on where the bend is. And I'm going to grab the fastener with another tool. And I'm just going to bend it. What I should do is actually grab it by the threads like this. And then give it a bend. Look at that. Couldn't get that any more perfect. Throw that piece in. Watch it be all wiggly. A little wiggly. Close enough. Alright, we're good there. Looks like we had 2 nylocks right there and there. So 1 nylock there. 1 nylock here. Another nylock here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nylocks for that. Now I'm going to take the original foam bumper. You know, doesn't matter. Original foam bumper. Put that in the place like that. Looks mint. Little deformation of the actual material right there, but it's no big deal. You got these 2 pieces right here. And this is the bent one. This is the one that's not bent. I got to put the fascia piece over. Like that. And take this piece. Slide that in. Like that. Now, noticing that's not going down all the way because I guess I gotta push that in first, I guess. Like that. That works. So slide that into place. Then those can drop in. Now, screws came down through the top of that, didn't they? Right there and there. So I'm going to try that one more time. Screw it in from below. Actually, that's the problem. I'm using the wrong fastener. Ha ha ha. There we go. It's the long ones. That's why. Now it's into it. So it is the longer fasteners. That makes sense. Come on, guy, get it together. Now that's grabbed, I believe. Yep. Try it again. Trial and error, man. It's the first time I've ever been here. I'm okay with it. These screws up here, though, do seem mega long. Ah, come on. Come on. It's because I don't have my tape. There we go. We'll try it again. 9th time's the charm. I don't know why these things are so long. Oh, you know what? Now I know why they're so long, I think. They're bonehead. They're not long. You know what I'm forgetting? Reason why they're so long is because of this. This piece. Yeah, how about this guy? Why don't you do that? Then the screws won't be as long. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, yeah, hey, look at that. That's much better. What a maneuver that was. I'm a rookie. Guy, I'm a rookie. But see, I didn't look at no instructions. I figured it out. Eventually, but still figured it out. So that feels good. That's good. Now we can flip it over. Now it ain't gonna fall apart. Now I can finish, go ahead, go after these screws here. That one's bent. I'm alright with that. Then I can go after these ones. These ones just go into plastic, so careful. So finish it off just by hand. Give it a tweak, tweak, tweak. Bit of a crank. That's good. Now I can go ahead and throw this piece on. That's going to take 5 screws right across. Let's make sure I get the right screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I'm thinking it was longer, but I'm just going to go for it being longer. Now that one went into nothing. So most likely what happened so I think happened on that one. I think I may have missed putting in. Yeah, it's not there. So somehow I missed putting in that piece. Oh, that's right, I ripped one out. Alright, so that one right there is missing. So that must have popped out. So we'll just see if I can maneuver that into place. See if I can make it happy. I'll try to use a pick to hopefully pick it into place. There we go. I think that did it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a screw and just see if I can, like, check. Yep, it's there. Alright. Now I can put this little chin piece on. Holy smokes. So this is where I did rip out one. So I have to keep that in mind. So I'm going to go after this one first because that one... Yeah, there we go. So that one was ripped out. That one's there. This one's here. This one's here. Okay. So I need one for that corner right there because I did rip it out. Now I did get this really cool gold-coated screw set, which makes me kind of want to use one of these, but I'll hold off and I'll save that for another another little setup that I've got. And what I will do is I'll grab my little master kit that I've got, and I'll just get the appropriate screw out of here, which looks like it's one of these. One of these. So I think it's going to be, is it that one? Or is it longer? Almost seems like it's longer than that. Get off. Yeah, it's one of these. Man, it's so tough. Alright, that works. There we go. Now I'm just going to give this a tweak by hand. Just make sure these are good. These are in nylox, so kind of don't have to be afraid to really give these, you know, a little bit more of a tweak than you're going into plastic. Because you're not going into plastic, you're going into a nylock. I mean, we're not talking Arnold Schwarzenegger strength, but still. You don't have to be a baby about it. Check these. These ones were into plastic, so these ones you don't crank. The two inner ones were in nylocked bolt, so those ones you can put a good torque on. This is loose, that's loose, that's loose, that's loose. Which it looks like I can basically just torque those down now. Seems like they're fine. So these ones right here, I'm not going to over tighten. Give it a good little tweak. Finish it off by hand. Get a feel for it. That's good there. That one's even now. Put this one back here. Perfect. All right. Now, the splitter. Now, I do have a brand new splitter, so I might as well use it. You can see this one's kind of like deformed a little bit, but I can just reform it just by hand. And it's literally like, almost like literally straight already. Yeah. So I'm going to put it on just like that right there, I believe. I think I'm happy with that. Now there's two holes. There's one hole there and one hole there. Those holes are supposedly for the intercooler, which I'm going to stick on now, which will keep this more together. That was something I actually didn't even realize. So go ahead and fit this piece in here. I'll reuse my other screws that I had here. Why do I have that one long screw? It's an extra. Sure, I'll figure it out. So I'm going to go for the center one first. Boy, that's really... Now I'm just going to check each one of these. Just for a little tweak there. There we go. All set. Car is definitely happier now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these parts. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just crash parts. Splitter. This part was done. Ripped that out. Ripped out the fasteners. This is literally held on by one. This one, we tore out that center section, so that's junk. Obviously, this got pretty badly deformed, so I don't know. Looks better now. It is missing its sticker, but guess what? That's not going to matter now because I don't have the not a step stickers, but I could pry those off with a razor blade if I really felt like it. Or I could go ahead and sticker it up. However, what I do want to do is in that Jenny's RC kit that I got, right? Check it out. It literally even came with literally all the parts. I mean, I have the intercooler anyway, but I mean, I guess I don't have to use like what I have and probably can't find right now. So we're gonna open this up. Now what this is gonna do, right? Which however this installs, yeah, look at that. The holes right there and right there. So this literally installs right there, but it looks like it needs like a backer piece or something. So, more parts in here. Put this up on my tape. So it looks like it has the 2 screws that are needed to go underneath through the actual splitter into this. So I'm going to have to dimple those holes probably with my little cutter, or could probably do it with like a razor blade. That's the tailpiece. That's a tailpiece for the rear end. Check it out. It actually has different, I didn't even know this. See, I never looked. It literally has different tail end pieces. It's got a fin. It's got some kind of like rear end looking deal. Or something. Kind of almost looks like a rear end. Maybe it has something to do with fuel. And then here's a blank. Yeah, I don't know, man. What the heck? So that piece is, I guess, it literally just goes right up against. So there isn't anything that goes in the back, but what the heck are these pieces for? You don't go on there. What the heck? That looks like a turbo boot. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's that. That's a front brace for something. Might be to change it over to something else. So I guess I'll install this, which will now lock down the splitter thing there. Guess that's where the hose goes through. So the hose actually must go through that little section right there. I'll just leave it as is. I will bolt this up. I'm going to take my little reamer tool, this thing, and I'm going to go right for where these dimples are. Just ream right through this plastic. Yep, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Being careful. I have to like go through my finger here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now I can go ahead and put this on. I'll flip or take this out of the bag here. So this will actually help keep this all together. So what I should do is push this through. And seems like the screws actually aren't long enough. Isn't that funny? The screws actually are not long enough. That's weird. Huh. screws actually aren't long enough. So these screws that they got, they don't go all the way through. Give it a little check here. Yeah, no, they definitely don't. I'd end up collapsing the plastic, so that does not work. Do have this longer screw here, but that's the wrong style fastener. So it looks like I may end up using my gold screws, because pretty sure these should make it. Yeah, that's definitely gonna make it. Look at that. That's mint. So I guess I do get to break open the gold screws. And that'll have plenty of bite into this piece. So what I'm going to do is put this piece in there, line it up right now. I think I'm lined up. Yep. That one. Boy, it'd probably be better if I... Yeah, it's not lined up exact. Alright. Need to see it straight on. Take the reamer. I'm going to ream just a little bit more into this panel here. If I do that, does that help? A little bit. Loosely put this one in, just a couple threads. Then I will try to line up this one. It's really close. Actually, it's not close at all. So for some reason, that hole is off. So I'm going to take my reamer and ream down a little bit. So obviously that hole was off. So I can go like this. Ream it down that way. Hopefully now. Just put this one into place real quick. Go to this top one. And that, I think. Just does not want to line up. The holes are not lined up, man. I'm going to use my driver. Maybe I can get a little bit more persuasion with it. Yep. Able to get it with my driver. Gave it a little bit of crack persuasion. Give that tweak. All right, so there we go. So now now that front splitter is tight to the actual vehicle, to the front. That definitely tightened everything up. I kind of wish I had known that. So that's definitely a lot happier. Might have had to have trimmed that lower section or something. Maybe that would have got that piece to actually fit and settle down. That is a possibility, because I am looking at, there is a ledge or an edge that probably could have been trimmed, but I'm just going to go with that. I do actually wish there was a center screw, which, you know what, I should be able to bore a little screw right into there. I'll use a fairly small drill bit. Use one of these. And I will drill down through the center. What I'll do is I'll use my straight edge as a guide to know where that piece is. And I will basically just put a hole right there. Take my ream tool. Just ream that a little bit. Take one of my super cool gold screws. And hopefully run this down and in. There we go. I think that did it. Alright, that's it. Done. Happy. Went into like less material, but be good enough. Now I'll take the body. Throw the body back on. Very happy. A little bit of body damage right there, but that ain't nothing. So, yeah. Looks like I may have to take a little bit of heat or something to this section of the body or something. There we go. Felony's basically back in business. Gotta watch out for these zip ties.
Zip ties? Why the heck do you call them those zip ties? Those are Velcro straps, guy.
Perfect.
Get with it.
Yep. Man. Happy with that.
No, you're not. You're going to prove it in the live stream that you're going to do in literally minutes from right now.
So there we go. There's a look at the repair. Marcy Guy Garage. Got a little bit of body damage right there. I may take a heat gun and I'll come in through the backside. I'll heat that up and we'll get rid of that dent. Maybe see if I can get rid of that little crease that's right there. There is a very slight crease right there. I know I can get that one out. This one is going to be a little bit of a bear, but if I use a smooth tool and heat it up, I should be able to pop that little dent out. Other than that, I want to say this Felony is back in business. So that's it. Felony's back, man. Basically just working on the Felony. It crashed. We fixed it. Minimal parts. And I don't know. I think the parts probably cost me like around maybe $30. And I still have like a ton of extra parts. Hopefully I won't need them. So anyways, like I always say, just get out there and point blank what? Just get out there and rip it. That was mint.